Hello and welcome back to Human Resource Machine.
Hello guys.
We're about to hit Where's Carol? It's a video. Just have to cross the inventory report.
Yeah.
Year 32. Inventory check, accounting verification, surprise audit. These are a few things, these are a few of my favorite things. So let's get started.
They are robots. Now I know.
Oh, possibly.
Yes, look at her head that is twitching and she is not aging one bit.
Oh, that's actually possible, I think.
Right.
For each thing in the inbox, send to the outbox the total number of matching items on the floor. Wow.
Okay, for each thing in the inbox, send to the outbox the total number of matching items.
So for B it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And you know how I did that?
No.
I went element by element and compared B to it.
So you would have to compare the value in the index. Or how do you do that?
I guess so.
Okay, let's...
how do I do that?
Yes,
I have to subtract the... you have to subtract the what are they called? Characters from each other. Like
Can
if you
subtract characters?
see, the weird thing in computer thing is you actually can, because the computer only knows numbers. So the thing you see is actually not a character at all. It's a number. And just by the magic of assigning how the number is displayed, you get to read it. But it's actually just a number. Like traditionally, the big A is actually a 65. So the big B would be a 66. So if you subtracted like A from B, you would have the number 1 in hand.
So are real numbers also just the symbol of numbers behind the number?
Or a real number? Yeah, like a 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why also there could be a character that reads 0, like a blue 0. Because that's actually, I think, no, 32 was a space bar. I forgot what 0 is. Could be 33. I just forgot. But yeah.
Okay.
There's actually a trick, because it was invented for Morsing. So and there's a trick with the 7-bit, which is really easy to remember, but I don't. Where I think, yeah, so it's based on 7 binary bits. It's actually not 8 bits, the original one. It's 7 bits. Because you needed to save the bits in order to transmit it. Yeah, so the ASCII 7-bit code is what's like built into everything. And it's mostly just English characters and numbers and a couple of extras for control during telegraphing.
Okay, so that's behind the symbol you actually see on the screen.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so how do I subtract again? I have to go to the inbox first and then...
I completely forgot, but I reckon you would have to copy it to someplace, just so you don't lose it.
I just go step by step.
Alright, so that's the first step.
That's the first step already.
Right, grab the things from the inbox. Gotcha! Right.
Done!
Done. Okay, I guess try to subtract, right? Try to just do the subtract. You have something in hand, you can subtract the 0 from it.
Subtract, like
the B, just subtract the B. Okay. And see what it does. Boom, it's a number 22.
How did that happen? Okay, so it's subtracted and it gives back the actual number it's subtract
So after subtracting, it probably loses
the value.
the meaning of the value, yeah. It just ends up with giving you the number, the difference between b and x, right?
Okay, so you throw that away actually, right? No.
Yeah, well,
You
now
have-
it's different, so it's not 0. So you would not increment any counter or something. You have to count something though, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that were 0, you would have to count something. So if you now have a 0 in hand, you would increment an index.
So the index. So you have
Yeah.
to copy the
Yeah.
inbox, the value in the inbox to 0 to the index first.
Why would you do that? Right.
So that you have the value in hand if you need it for,
Well, you have to save it to some place, I guess.
yes.
So you grab something from the inbox because you will need it multiple times. Yeah, that's because you need to subtract multiple times. Yeah. Copy to, but probably to a free one like X or something. Of 15, I mean.
Oh, so it is not copy to, but
Yeah.
copy to here.
And let's give X 15 a number, some identifier like X.
X.
That's fine. And like you have to sum all the comparisons, so there has to be a sum at some point, and you need to iterate over everything, so there has to be an index I, like, because you have to do it for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
You have to do it for everything, and once you did for everything, you have to sum it up. Right?
You have to sum it
Something
up.
like that. Something like that.
Sum what up though?
The amount of matches for each thing in the inbox. So that's a loop around the inbox, right? For each thing in the inbox, that's a loop around the inbox.
Yeah.
Send to the outbox the total number of matching items on the floor. So you need to loop through the whole floor. And yeah, count the total number of matching items on the floor, right? That's what you have to count. And also note the floor is 0 based. So this is a 0 terminated. This is a 0 terminated string on the floor. Right.
Okay, now I go from, first I go from the inbox, copy to X. Then I just bump up, right?
Well, you
I have
now
to-
you would have to compare to 0 or to something.
Well,
The subtract also has the, you can now subtract this one, yeah, 0.
0,
So the index 0, sorry, the index I mean,
the index I.
just subtract the index I, right?
Okay, but there's nothing in the I, so it
Well,
will be
maybe we should start with that. Maybe you should start with putting something into the I.
copy to, then grab.
Well, before that though, before we pick something from the inbox, like prepare the variables, right? Like we did in the past, where we had like this loop,
Do we,
where we had like a start, then like a main portion, and then we will have like an end portion. Right? And in the main portion we actually have the loop. Some form of loop. I think we like did something like that.
okay, if you start, you grab like the 0
Okay?
into the copy from 0 to the index though. Here. Like this.
I'm not too sure. I think this actually crashes. Let's just try it.
Empty value. You can copy to with an empty tile.
Yeah, because I is empty, see? and you set to the index I. You actually want to copy to the variable, because you want this to be in that field where the I is written, right? So that's the variable I.
There is no value in the index,
Yeah.
so it doesn't know where to go. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, like this.
Okay. Now you grab something from the inbox, write it to X, sure. And you subtract that, which is now it's not 0.
Okay.
If those values were equal, there would be no difference between them, so it would be 0.
Yeah. Okay.
And note that C, we just subtracted B from C, and that's exactly 1,
Yeah.
because it's 1, the letter is 1 higher than the other one.
Mm-hmm. So if it's not, then go back. Well, was it C though? He
grabbed from the inbox C, yeah.
Okay. Wait a second. Okay, then go back to X then.
Okay.
If it's, oh, well, wait a second. If it's not 0, then you go back. If it's 0, you do something else. It's after the subtraction though.
Yeah, that's where you compare it, right?
Jump if 0 and do something else. To the end. Right, like this. And if it's not 0,
Okay.
Copy from, not the index. Oh well, it is the
What do you want to
index.
have in hand? What do you want to have in hand?
I want to have the previous item in hand. I grabbed the previous item I grabbed from the inbox.
Yeah, you copied it to X, so you would grab it from X, right?
Yeah.
But would you grab it from X, the
Index.
actually content of the field, or some other field?
The actual content, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then, well, subtract from the field. Oh, wait a second.
From the next field, right?
From the next field.
And the next field will also have the index I, but you have to, like, could write index I now, if you go for index and then I. But something happened, yeah, just click it, and something has to happen to the index first, though.
Yeah, you have to bump it up.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second. So you bump it up maybe? Copy from X, then subtract, then go over, bump it up, and then subtract.
The actual variable or something that's written in I? So do you want a reference or actually I? What do you want to bump?
That's a good question. Not the actual value, but the I.
Okay, so no, then the actual value, right?
The actual value.
Yeah, so then click for I. Yeah.
Okay. Bump it up, but then
And then you have I in hand, because after bumping you have the value in hand that you bumped.
Yeah, that's
That's not what you want. I
That's
bet that's not what you wanted.
it should be a 1, right?
It would be a 1 now. You would have a 1 in hand, and then for subtracting with the 1 in hand, you go and subtract the A from 1, which should be minus 64.
You want to subtract C from 1.
Alright, so you need to copy the from has to happen after the bump. Yeah, like
and
that.
then subtract the value in I.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Right. Copied it, subtracted the B.
Oh, now it's another case.
Yeah, it's not 0 though.
It's not 0.
It's not 0, so the 0 comparison has to move up there. But the rest would still work, so since it's not 0, it should not jump anywhere. So just see if the copy from works now. So you bump it, you copy the A again, and then you subtract again A from A, which would be 0. So that's true. So the comparison with the subtraction, the jump f0 has to go up there after you subtract it, right? After the first subtraction, because this is where you would have an I in hand. If it's 0, you have to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to jump out of...
You
This
will
is
have
some
to
kind
jump
of
out.
loop, right?
It's some kind of loop, but actually there are a couple of tricky loops, so you have to
Okay.
think about that one. And I think that's correct. Just the subtraction that you do down there, you don't have to write the subtraction again, because now you have the x in hand. You had that in hand previously before you did the line 5. So actually, instead of subtracting here, you would jump up to the 5 and do the subtraction. Do it up there, right?
Like here?
Yeah.
Like after the bumping?
Just instead of the jump.
Instead?
Sorry, instead of the sub. I'm confusing myself. Yeah. And that in front of the... Not to the copy 2 though, but just before the sub. You're right. So now you actually do a sub, but it's this sub. So you can reuse like the jump f0, right?
Okay.
And it would do that over and over again. You could just try it now. It should like the C should actually compare up to the 4 and then jump out, and that's the end of the program, which you don't want, but at least it works that far, right? So 2, and it's also not the C, and it's now it's finding the first C, and that's like a huge progress, right? Now it's 0, and it jumped to the end.
Okay. So
you found the match.
The match. So after I found the match, I have to write down I found the first match.
Yeah.
Into the
something.
Something.
So you actually just bump up the sum, right? Because you increment the amount of matches. So just bump the sum.
If there's nothing in the sum?
Yeah, you should have that. There should something be.
Okay,
you have to prepare the sum
this
first.
Is from the, okay. So
no, actually not from 2, right? You now with the copy from 14, you have the 0 in hand. Oh, you wanted to copy the 0. I see. But you still have the 0 because you copied to I, and it's a copy, so you still have the 0 in hand.
Oh, okay, that is how it works. So then copy 2. The index sum, right? Or is no, it's not the index. The actual sum. Okay.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Yeah, it totally is.
Okay.
So, and then you would like bump the sum, right? Because you found a match. So you increment the amount of matches, that's the sum. You just bump it.
Is that at the beginning of end, right?
Yeah.
Bump up.
Bump the sum, yeah.
Bump the sum. Okay.
Okay, so you bump the sum. What after you bump the sum? You want to grab the next item, right? So you...
I still have the C in hand.
No, you have the new sum value in hand.
Oh.
So you need to grab this, like...
Oh, I have to grab the value in X again.
Okay.
Copy from.
So you need to jump to some place, right?
Yes, I have to... Where though?
Well, it definitely starts after bumping.
After bumping, grab from X, or like this?
Possibly. I think that's not correct, but you could try it and see what it does.
Oh, that's a lot of trying there.
Yeah, you could increase the speed just for the debugger to be faster. Maybe go even further with the speed. Okay, so that's not it, right? Then the next one is also not it, which we want, right? Okay, that's cool. Okay, now the next one though. This one will be 0. So if you do subtraction, you now have 0. That's what we wanted. So you jump to 0, you jump out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. We jump out of the loop.
You bump E.
And then you jump
then
back.
you jump back, but now it copies from X.
And you have another X in hand.
You have another X in hand, and it compares. It's still, if you jump again for the subtraction, see, it still has the index on 2. So actually you
have
need
to
to jump
bump.
up one statement earlier, so it also increments the index.
Wait, well, I jump here.
No,
Wait.
look at where you start to jump and
Jump.
follow that arrow. No, that's a different arrow.
Or I forgot which jump I was. But this is the
This is
after you increment. You
Yeah.
jump and copy from.
That's where you are now, and the index I does not have the right value, so the next one should be 3. So somehow you have to jump to a place where you bump I.
Like this one.
Yeah, this one has to move.
Where I bump I like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Now, if you step through now, there will be another problem, but you will get really, really far. Okay. So you're actually looking for A's, and it actually did it, right? You found one A so far.
Let's see if he finds another one and increments that.
Yeah.
Well, oh, this is it?
Yeah, it's working just like a charm, right? Okay.
Okay.
So there actually will be, if I jump forward, let me increase speed. And I'll jump forward to the position where it will break. Because it'll work fine. But we have no break condition for the 0 in it now. Right? So the B, now we increment and have the 14. We jump, pick up an A, and now something happens because we subtract this value, which does not work. Mixed operands, that's what it's calling it. Okay, so
You
we actually crash because we,
subtracted from an index,
yeah,
and that index doesn't exist.
no, I tried to subtract the 0, so I tried to operate character A minus the 0. That's what he says does not work. But what actually the problem is that we never check if the value at I is the end of the string, because if it is, we are really done. We have to end it. Right?
Okay, how do you check that again?
Well, you need to look at it, like pick up whatever's in I. Let me see, bump I. Right at that point, you need to copy from I. And if you now have a 0 in hand, if the thing in I is a 0, you jump out of it.
Okay.
And now you really jump to the end. And at that point, we have to read again the total number of matching items on the floor. So you need to copy the total number of the items on the floor, copy from sum, and
put it in the outbox.
put it in the outbox. And after that, we have to continue with the next value, right?
Yes, so you jump all the way up
Right.
to the loop, beginning of the loop, right?
Actually, to where we prepare everything, because we need to like reset I, reset the sum.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
And that should do it.
And we'll do it a little bit faster this time.
If you want to. Yeah, that's comparing for you. It's doing it.
And while she is working, she is writing something down. It's an evaluation of her work.
Well, you mean the one, the robot woman? She
Yeah.
wrote something down?
Yeah, she just wrote something down.
I see. I did not notice. I was so focused on the work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's important to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, that now she wrote something.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, she's writing more. It's very suspicious. I think you can speed it up really fast because it's working now. I don't know if we cracked the size and speed challenge though.
Well,
Because I think like if we switch somehow the order of putting things down, we don't have to pick that up every time to check if it's 0 or not.
okay. Oh.
Size challenge 17,
Not too
alright.
bad. Wow.
Speed though, yeah.
Wow.
That's because we always have to pick it up and see if it's a 0. If we kind of revert the subtraction and somehow pick up the thing on the floor, check if it's 0 and then do the subtraction of the value that we saved, I think we save a lot of extra steps.
Yeah.
Where is Carol? Why is the sound off though? I turned it off. That's incorrect.
Hey, where's Carol?
Where's Carol? Which one was Carol? Oh, that. She's Carol.
Oh God, this coffee is amazing.
Completely oblivious to the surroundings.
Oh.
Replaced.
Previous reports of machine army evaluated to false.
Evaluate to false.
100% fine, whether within pleasant tolerance parameters
Oh,
or
okay.
in skin layer. You're all
you-
going to be fine.
So this
I'm-
woman who jumped or was pushed.
I'm not sure
rather-
if she's the same person.
No, but she will be replaced by a robot,
Oh yeah, probably.
not the new speaker.
Probably. Vowel incinerator. Oh, we could play that one, right?
Yeah, but it has been quite a long session.
Has it? Has
I
it?
think so.
Well,
We should start another video next
Yeah.
time.
so we'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.
And don't forget to subscribe and give us a like.
Bye.
Bye.